What is up, guys? We are back with another video today, and we're doing another career resimulation on Madden 22, and today it is of Dan the Man Marino, the man we all know of being basically the greatest of all time to never win a Super Bowl ring. There may be some other guys that are like up there, but I can't really think of a guy, specifically quarterback, that has done what he has done and yet not come away with a Super Bowl ring. I always have to bring up the Packers, and so some people are like, oh, Packers, Rodgers, oh, here you go, see you later. But I always have to bring up Rodgers and the Packers because Dan Marino, as much as it sucks for him, I like the guy, and I mean, I kind of wish he would have won a ring, but at the same time, whenever anyone wants to make the quarterback Super Bowl comparisons and, you know, only this many rings, this many chokes, whatever, I just bring out my golden gun with the silver bullet. I'm not sure a golden gun would work well. It probably would just immediately melt, I would imagine. But fire that Dan Marino bullet right into their argument, and I say, so Jimmy Garoppolo better than Dan Marino? Terry Bradshaw better than Rodgers and Marino? And it pierces right through their entire life, and they're forced to quit. I honestly don't remember the last time someone has come back with a response after, so Dan Marino must suck then. I don't know if I've ever seen it. It's literally uncounterable. But of course, we're going to try to make that not a reality. Well, I mean, we're not really going to do anything. We're going to watch that. We're going to see if it's possible to not make that a reality. As Dan Marino himself, I don't even know, a couple years now ago, I feel like it's in the news like every season almost, said that if he played in today's NFL, he'd probably throw for like 60-plus touchdowns, 6,000 yards. And as crazy as that sounds, I don't know if I could really disagree with it. I feel like the things he was able to do in the era he played in was pretty spectacular. I will say, you know, the NFL, here's the thing. Now, you can make the argument all you want that the NFL nowadays is weaker. Obviously, the way, the rules are played, you can't really hit the quarterback. It's, helmet to helmet is like immediately called, even when it's not helmet to helmet. If it seems like a really jarring hit and there's a lot of speed involved, it's probably going to be called helmet to helmet. I get the flags and all that, but at the same time, the level of athleticism and skill right now seems almost unmatched. It's really, like, I don't know if these quarterbacks make the same reads or are able to make the reads that quarterbacks nowadays kind of have to because of the speed on the defensive side of the ball. But once again, I will say, being able to kind of mug the receiver, it makes it where those interception numbers go up quite a bit. It's a little bit harder to throw, and obviously there's kind of a reason why running the ball was, kind of prevalent in the past, is because you couldn't just walk up and down the field passing the ball like you can nowadays. So I kind of agree, I kind of disagree, but at the end of the day, Dan Marino, regardless of era, I mean, I guess it's really not regardless, he only played in one era, basically, had himself a career, obviously. He got Walter Payton Man of the Year award on top of it, which is kind of cool. It's like a nice award to have when you also add on the fact that he's, multi-time All-Pro. I can't remember the exact age of Mahomes, but I still think Marino might still be the youngest MVP winner. Absolute nutso season in his second year. I made him a superstar because of that. We'll look at Dan Marino real quick right now before we actually go in and see who ends up drafting him. We have the real-life class on top of it, just for the hell of it. There's a lot of first-round grade guys here. That deep accuracy is just a lie. I'm just going to call it out right now. Of course, you can see all those kind of acceleration and agility and throw power, all that stuff. Not super great. Never seen a window he won't throw into. Fair enough. Beautiful spiral. Yeah, pretty much. Quick to throw at the slightest pressure. Debatable. Knows when to throw the ball away. Sure, will break the pocket occasionally to throw. That's, very true. Fast, prototypical throwing motion. I would probably say more than prototypical. I guess prototypical. I don't know, dude. It fits, but barely. That's what she said. What? Of course, might be a lot of Dolphins content for the, kind of weekend. I want to probably, it's been quite a bit of time since the Super Bowl video. I want to do the off-season for Dolphins franchise on this weekend. I want to also do a Tyreek Hill, Terran Armstead Dolphins rebuild on Sunday, perhaps. Saturday might be like some other experiment video or, resim or whatever it may be with Dolphins franchise or Dolphins offseason. And then I'd say Monday might even be, week 1 of the Dolphins franchise. So lots of Dolphins. If you're a Dolphins fan, you're going to be enjoying yourself. And even if you're not, I'm hoping you're still going to enjoy yourself. And if you are, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe. But of course, all of this is kind of irrelevant. We just did this just so it's not the same kind of teams at the top of the board, even though it very well could be anyways. I'm kind of liking the chance of Dan Marino potentially being a Steeler. Of course, you can see here the Broncos and the Vikings, with the Vikings winning a Super Bowl. Talking about rare things happening, Dan Marino not winning a Super Bowl. There's the Vikings winning one. That's nuts. Starting this thing off with a bang, I'll tell you that. So it's not really my choice, but Marino kind of moved up the board on his own. Do I allow that to happen? Normally we just, place them where they kind of went in real life, but I suppose there's no guarantee where any of these quarterbacks are going to go, so it's kind of unfair to put him behind them. I honestly don't really care too much as long as the teams are new. I'm actually going to take, whatever. I don't care who he goes to be honest, as long as it's a team that is going to treat him right. Of course, the Lions with the number 1 overall pick anyways, talking about, wanting new teams at the top. Well, you get what you get. All right, the Patriots could go, and they do not. Evan Neal, it's a very good decision, I suppose. The Chargers, Aiden Hutchinson, that is broken. They're so good. Karlaftis Willis is the first quarterback taken off the board anyways. And they're just saying, screw it, Zach Wilson's gone. The Browns, don't do it. I was about to say, don't be dumb. The Raiders, maybe. I was about to say, maybe. Eagles, maybe. Anyone but the Falcons. Anyone but the Falcons. There you go. I mean, even anyone but the Giants as well. Screw the Giants. Sorry. I do not have Dan Marino scouted. I don't have anyone scouted. You can see here, well, I guess it really didn't show anything, but nothing on the favorites. There's no shot in hell he actually gets drafted to the Dolphins, right? Okay, Trey McBride. I mean, don't really need the tight end either, but sure. I hate this trash game. I hate this game. I literally just got done arguing with someone about, they were like, oh, Dak's trash, dude. Dak's going to be traded to the Lions this year. You trust me? I'm like, bro, Dak Prescott's got a $108 million dead hit. He ain't getting traded anywhere, pal. Even if he was actually bad, rather than just people being mad for whatever reason at Dak. I don't really understand what the hate is for him. Even if he was actually trash, they're stuck with him. So, oh my God, why? Anyone but Dan. You could have chosen any other quarterback. I don't care. Just not Dan. And of course, who was it? Dan. I already know what's going to happen. Don't do it. Merry Christmas. Oh, they think that franchise quarterback you're giving us is good enough. Sorry. You're going to have to give us more. Really? All right, so the Titans do make the playoffs. This isn't really supposed to be a Titans rebuild, but I'm kind of curious just to see what Tannehill was up to. Pretty good numbers. You still repay him, or do you keep him on that contract that he's on? I don't know. Of course, Dan Marino, we made him a superstar dev. His rookie year in real life wasn't crazy spectacular, so at the end of the day, I mean, losing out in his rookie year in this sim probably doesn't matter too much, but can Tannehill lead this team to a Super Bowl? He cannot, as they lose to the Ravens. What was our contract extension? A 5-year, $4 million. Even in real life, I declined that. That's not true, but I know my worth, and it's less than that, so I appreciate it. Thank you. So Tannehill obviously had a pretty good year. His regression was kind of harsh. He's down 2 throw power, a bunch of different ratings. He's an 81 overall, with Dan Marino being in 78 overall, which, of course, his deep accuracy sucks. That is untrue. That is some BS. When I made him, I actually made his deep accuracy the highest out of all of them. What the hell? I'm going to lower some of the other ratings because they obviously did raise some of the other ones, but I literally, maybe that's why his overall wasn't that high. No, it's still pretty low here. I made his deep accuracy the highest, and they were like, did you though? Let's lower his awareness, I suppose. I want him to get back down to that 80 overall, whatever. He's going to start regardless, I think. Tannehill was good, but he wasn't able to get the job done. I just noticed they got rid of A.J. Brown. What are they doing? Fellas, What is this? I've never seen this. I've actually never seen A.J. Brown in free agency. Well, I've seen it a few times, but not commonly. I went to go check because, once again, this has happened a few times where I just don't believe the game. And, yeah, I don't know, dude. They just let go of their best receiver by far. I'm going to be so pissed if A.J. Brown's still a really good overall, too. I mean, you definitely need to draft wide receiver now. I mean, you have no choice. What's A.J. Brown's debt? Of course he went to superstar. Good job. Let your best receiver by a mile go to free agency when he just got a dev up. 96 release. That's not good, right? Take a look at the draft recap. Not really seeing too many great overalls, except for Mr. Steve Tatum, 6 foot tall, 189. You know what you got to do when you're replacing a big, strong, blocking-capable player, even though this guy's blocking is actually really good for an AI or a CPU draft. You get a small guy that's going to get pushed around by even the smallest of DBs. What's his dev? Star dev. I mean, it's pick 27, I suppose. 66 overall tight end. He is 6'6", though. And he is fast. Okay, I mean, that's a fun project. Only aggressive catch, though, which is kind of meh. Sean Northcutt, the strong safety. Yikes. What about Linton, left end? No. Yeah, not a very good draft. You got a DT, or a wide receiver, which you definitely needed. But that's literally all you got. So not the most impressive way to get to the playoffs, but still in the playoffs. That's all that really matters. Looking at the win-losses, a nice couple of wins right near the end. Actually, really good 6 out of 7, maybe even more. I didn't really look before that game. But let's take a look at Mr. Dan Marino. 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Worse than Tannehill, but obviously his first year starting. Oh my God, he's wearing number freaking 19. We got to fix that. Of course, the man himself, Derrick Henry, killed it. Tatum not bad himself. Don't expect any award wins, but I do expect to change his number because that's gross. Titans versus the Browns. The Browns win, unfortunately, but it's still early. Although I would imagine Dan Marino probably thought that as well when he lost his Super Bowl that early on and kind of didn't get back. But the Broncos versus the Niners. The winner is the Broncos. That's great news. Of course, they've been to several now. 77 overall team. They definitely need to spend some money. They definitely need to have a better draft. And honestly, they probably need to miss the playoffs because these high draft picks, they're just not working out. High as in bad. Of course, let's go to the draft. 85 mil. How much of that is spent? A grand total of... If it lets us know, I'd appreciate it. I guess we'll never know. GG. Another draft in the books. Pick 20 overall. Okay. Left outside linebacker, probably a need. I mean, not good, but developable, I guess. Nick Whitfield, 6'3". Kind of a very raw A.J. Brown. They go with a center, 72 overall. A hidden development trait. Finally a win. Go right guard, 64 overall. Yeah, I mean, unless he was going to be some super sneaky hidden development trait. I mean, that is just another really bad draft. Playoffs, 7-10. I mean, you knew it was bound to happen sooner or later. The quarterback list is very interesting, to say the least. Dan Marino, of course, playing in a scheme where you kind of have to, as the quarterback and the receivers, make way for Derrick Henry. And obviously, he's still doing his thing. A little bit lower in numbers, but maybe it is time for a scheme change. I don't know how old he is. But, I mean, Derek's got to be getting up there. He's got to be like 30, 31 at this point. Yeah, 31 years old. Still really good, obviously. But, I mean, at some point, you kind of have to have a little bit of balance because clearly just running only isn't enough to get us to the Super Bowl or even to the playoffs at this point. But I will say the talent on the team is pretty lackluster. Tons of money. Let's see if the team actually wants to spend any. We're spectators in this. If I sign players, it would just become a rebuild, basically, with a big name. But the Chiefs versus the Packers, and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. They win another one. Draft time, and pick number 8 overall. Once again, the overalls are so bad. But wide receiver, Micah Gibson, definitely a need for this team still. 96 speed, very fast, obviously. Another kind of smaller guy, but he's got the height, I suppose. A lot of the good players in the game are pretty much just small, fast guys. Also, star development traits. Right tackle, I can't imagine he's good. Or he's hidden development trait. A little raw, but athletic, I suppose. Strength kind of sucks, but you obviously get those, coaching kind of upgrades at some point. Star development traits. DT in the 3rd round. How good is he? Pretty good power move, decent block shed, semi-athletic. He's an okay pick. I mean, once again, you're in the 3rd round there. Great choice, very athletic, but not that great. Pemberton, strong safety, pretty heavy, pretty fast as well. Maybe has some potential. And then Gilbert Allen, tall, okay speed. Oh, let's see how the team has changed. It's been, some time now, like 3 or 4 years probably. They added David Bakhtiari, who is 93 overall, still pretty damn good. Rest of the offensive line, that's kind of all over the place. Gibson is a pretty good number 2 going forward. Running back definitely needs to be replaced at some point. Quarterback situation, you might have to actually start looking for a new scheme. Caleb Farley's a superstar. He should be the starter. Yeah, I mean, it's a very raw team. They're adding a couple of players here and there, but yeah, they're definitely not rebuilding quick enough. 3-14. Okay, I mean, it's getting worse, but I also don't know if it can get any worse than this. If this team takes quarterback, I'm done. Of course, it's the AFC after all. It's a tough conference, but wow. Yeah, Dan Marino's in a bit of a situation here with this team. Really bad numbers. I mean, whether it's because of the scheme or not, I mean, I have no choice but to drop him to star, right? Like, I mean, there's really not much of an argument to be made here. He's an 86 overall still, so he should be able to manage, but gotta drop him to star. There's just like, I'm sorry. It's not even, probably his fault, but at the end of the day, I can't do it. You can't stay as a superstar when you're putting up, I mean, that's like coming into the season halfway through kind of numbers. I mean, Davis Mills put up 35-9. Like, come on, man. Colts win the Super Bowl over the Panthers. The draft. 78 overall, pick 3 overall, normal dev, 90 hit power, which is crazy. He is very good, though, in fairness. Very solid player, auto starter, I'd imagine. Pat Shields, hidden development trait, left guard. Things are kind of turning around a little bit. Curtis Phillips, 23 on top of it. Fast, but extremely raw. They went with a running back. Doesn't look very good, though. He's not even that big, and he's pretty slow. I mean, they had a good couple of picks. The first 2 look really good, and the rest are kind of not so good. Here's the squad. Anything new on off? Oh, Kittle. Okay, that's a bit of a new thing. 32 years old, but still looking beastly. Very good. That's all I can really say. Looking at the defense. Oh, they grabbed, was that a hidden kicker or a hidden quarterback? Defensively, Nakobe Dean is a new name, 25 years old, 83 overall, pretty damn good. It's getting better, but it's still a bit of an issue, right? It's still, once again, 84 overall is not bad. The team's getting better, but they're still not quite there, but maybe good enough for playoffs. Probably not, but maybe. Playoffs. We are not in them, but we are back to being a good team. 9-8, not bad. Take a look if Dan Marino deserved a dev up. Very good numbers considering it's still the Titans scheme. You're still letting Derrick Henry run the show because, once again, it has worked for the most part. Derrick Henry hasn't been the reason why we've been losing. Dan Marino could go back to superstar on his own. We'll see. I'm not going to force it or anything like that. The 2 top wide receivers, they're looking like a pretty good dynamic duo. Kittle wasn't really that good, to be honest. O-line was pretty good. Sack totals, 9 for the rookie. Once again, the whole point of this is for Dan Marino to shine. So, it's nice to pay attention to the other guys just to see, is it possible for this to work out better, at least, than real life? And, I mean, there's possibilities, but, it's still a bit of a long shot. The Steelers win the Super Bowl. Hey, I'm just saying, Dan Marino would have went there, and it's not like it was his choice. Could have been a Super Bowl winning quarterback. No dev up there, no dev up anywhere on offense. Sound like a Dr. Seuss book. Defensively, Farley, I believe, was not an X-Factor before. He's 28. Wow, he really did not develop at all. Wow, that is really bad. I suppose that's what happens when you never win any games. Another draft, pick 16, 74 overall. Another normal as well. Pretty athletic, not a bad player. Power and finesse, which is a little strange. 66 overall corner, Javonte Wiggins. I mean, they're trying. I get it. Cornerback's the position of need, but they're not succeeding. Edge rusher is really not even that much of an edge rusher with how freaking slow he is. I mean, just not a good draft at all. Like, the DT1, I guess, is okay, developable, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Dan needs to move on. I think he needs to leave. Let's take a look at the team and see if there's any updates to the roster. Of course, Kittle's down to 96, but he's still usable. Henry, I think we need to build around Marino. We've got better receivers, better quarterback. You know, Derrick Henry's, I mean, he's here. He's still in spirits, but his overall has dropped. He's still very good, but I think it's time to focus on the quarterback situation. Still need a lot of help on defense, I got to admit, but it's not a rebuild. I'm just here to witness. I bear witness on the playoffs 6-11. Oh my, 1-16. This division is a joke. Let's see if Dan Marino's got the juice or not. I mean, kind of doesn't. 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Definitely better, but obviously that was the cost of Derrick Henry. So, I mean, better, kind of, but overall, this ain't looking good. It's going to be honest, not looking very good at all. All right, here is the draft pick, 7 overall. They went with a cornerback. They finally got a hidden one, but once again, some way or another, they sell. Of course, it probably doesn't matter in sim, but he's 5'9", so there's that. Definitely not really a perimeter corner. He looks really tiny. He's like a running back. Not even a running. He's like a running back that will die if he gets hit too many times. Of course, edge rusher. I mean, a little bit of potential. Hidden? No, my lord. Oh, man. They take a weak, big guy. Scott Goldberg, 23 years old. I mean, this is just L's after L's. I think Dan Marino minimum is here till he's like 29-ish, maybe 30. I don't know how old maybe he's already that, but I think he has like 2 more years on his contract, if I'm not mistaken. So here for a while regardless. He's 28, so probably about 30, I believe. He's pretty good. His throw power went up a few as well. But yeah, he has not played well at all. Missed playoffs again. I don't know what it takes. This is weird because normally, you know, you got these kind of young developable guys and they actually do something. Change the scheme up a few times, no longer the Titans scheme, and it just doesn't seem to matter. I don't know. Maybe nowadays NFL is actually tougher than Dan Marino would have thought. And no, Dan, this is not slander. Please do not sue me. I understand. It's a CPU. It's a created character. It's not actually you. Please. Another year, another draft. Pick 6 overall ends up with a 70 overall. Of course, he's hidden, but he's 23. Okay, I'm going to go on a limb and say, hey, you know what? 23-year-old, pick 6, hidden development trade. He's superstar, simply put. Oh, my God, he's awful. I believe the team needs a left tackle more than a right tackle. I believe Dave Bakhtiari is still the guy here, but he's also dropping. Pick 6 is a corner. I was about to say maybe probably a normal corner, but actually hidden. That's kind of clutch. And wow, bad draft. All right, the team, any new additions? Ingram is not a starter yet, but I guess he will be the next season. Who the hell is this? 27-year-old superstar that was wasted. Oh my, unbelievable. Maybe that's their exit plan on Dan Marino as, last year, I believe, on contract. Ooh, maybe paid a little bit too much for like a guy like Lattimore, but fair enough. Simmons and Clark. Clark has got to be like 33. How old is Simmons? He can't be that much younger. Yeah, 32, but he's really good. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, okay, they spent some good money. Maybe they can actually do something with this team. Oh, crap. I got a little bit too excited. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. I was about to say I got too excited, but we're in the Super Bowl. Excuse me? I'll show you guys didn't like force any wins. I kind of just like got ahead of myself, went right to the Super Bowl, just didn't think about it. Okay. Sure. I mean, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. Let's take a look at the numbers. Change up a few things. Nothing crazy, though, Dan Marino. I mean, a better season, but not like outstandingly crazy good. Rushing, Elijah Mitchell's the running back. Not great, but not great. Just kind of bad. We got 3 great wide receivers, of course. O-line played okay. Got a lot of sacks allowed for a guard, though. I'll give you that. Simmons, really good. Carnahan. I thought it was Callahan. It's Carnahan. He's an 86 overall. He is getting better, for sure. He's a definite great player already, but got to see that reflected in the sack totals, if you don't mind. But yeah, I mean, not bad. Of course, Dan Marino definitely not good enough to obviously win any awards, but has a chance to win the biggest of them all, which would be a Super Bowl. I was about to say, seeing the signings they made, they look like a pretty good team. 3-0, of course, not looking super great here. 3-10, this ain't looking good. 3-13, 3-6, 13-13, 20-13. Come on, Danny. Looked like he threw a pick or they fumbled. I don't know, but it's not looking good for Daniel Marino here. I mean, there's 6 seconds left. I mean, it's not going to happen, but whatever. We'll see what happens to the AI. And, of course, they fail. He did get to a Super Bowl, but just like real life, he lost that. Of course, a little bit later in his career, kind of more of an expected time to win it or get to one, kind of later down the line. But you got to assume he's going to, re-sign with this team, considering the fact that, he just got to the Super Bowl finally. And Dan Marino does not go up in dev. Kittle's still usable unless he retires on us, which I believe, happens next week. It's an okay team. There's obviously some potential, but there's also some potential to upgrade even higher. Who's done? 29 years old. I mean, he's kind of done. He's actually not bad. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, once again, we're kind of just, we're along for the ride. And the ride has gotten very interesting as of late. So I looked at it, Dan Marino, this is his actual final year. He had 1 year left. It was a 6-year deal. Alani Patterson, 85 hit power, not a bad usable guy, so I'm not going to judge it just because he's normal. It is also pick 31. George Truman, I don't know what kind of wide receivers they lost, but kind of seemed like a non-necessity edge rusher. Kind of not great. Paul Snell, 6'5", super slow. That guy's awful. What is he going to play tight end? Running back, Jason Aiken, not the worst in fairness, but once again, these drafts have been, for the most part, pretty trash. Playoffs, not in them. We made the Super Bowl last season, did not make it this year. Let's take a look at if there's a case for Dan to stay. I mean, there's a case for Dan to go down to normal dev, to be honest. Really good receivers, just really hasn't worked out. We've moved the scheme around. I ran Tampa, I ran Jacksonville, I ran Dallas. I mean, outside of running KC, which is just brokenly good, I mean, there's not really much more to say about it. Dan's already regressing. This could be an early retirement, even earlier than real life in today's NFL. It's crazy. Eagles beat the Colts in the Super Bowl. Let's see if Dan went up in dev. He did have a lot of yards, but I doubt it. And he did not. Gibson still isn't dev'd up. I mean, this is a really good receiving group. I'm a little surprised that it's actually still intact, to be honest. Ingram would be the new starting left tackle. They got to get a new DT, but Simmons looks good. Cornerback definitely could use a new guy, I suppose. You need a new free safety, maybe a new edge, since they got rid of their guy, dude, Carahan, or whatever his name was, dude. He was like their best edge by far. And they got rid of him, obviously. All right, I suppose nothing else matters as the Bengals do not have Joe Burrow anymore, which is very interesting to say the least. Looking at some of the overalls, 87, 80, 82, 87. The Bengals, 81, that's a bit of an L, gotta admit. What was the Titans? I guess it doesn't really matter too much. It's not really a downgrade. It's definitely not an upgrade. I don't know what to think about. Was that Nick Bosa is their number one guy? Ooh, free points. But let's see the contract that he signed, if we don't mind. Oh, they do have him. Wait, was it? Oh, it was the Browns. What am I thinking? It wasn't the Bengals, idiot. Oh, there you go. 84 overall. Better. Even better. Let's take a look at that team. Of course, the draft just happened, but we don't get to see the recap, unfortunately. But here's what the squad looks like. Worst wide receivers for sure. Chuck Booker, interesting name. Usable, developable. What about this guy? James Mason, 86 overall. Good for a couple of years. Mark Andrews, the X Factor, obviously very solid. Wait, how's he an X Factor? Was he already? He might already be superstar in the game, in fairness. They got a superstar center who's only 25. They don't re-sign him. They're idiots. Left tackle definitely getting down there in the regression. This is a better line, but the receiving threats are definitely worse. Defensively, a joke is no joke. Even though he's 31, he's still really good. Cooper is, I knew he was going to be old. That's unfortunate. Grandel Pitt's obviously old. Irwin, I don't know if he's good. He's 25 and young. Good with his ex-superstar. Trayvon Walker is still here as a superstar, but he's more of a block-shedding type. I mean, it's not a good team, but, I mean, the overall is better. than the Titans. I don't know really how that helps, but I suppose the Dan Marino dream stays alive. I didn't notice the name. What is the chances of that? How common is that name? It can't be very common, right? Well, I can't tell if this is an homage or just me about to fight someone, because we ain't making fun of my mans, okay? We ain't doing it. Playoffs in them with a bye week. Can he make another Super Bowl? Can the Marino win a Super Bowl? Of course, you can see here, these are, losing 3 of the last 4 is definitely not the way to do it, but still good enough somehow for the, the bye week. Dan Marino, best season of his career so far. Could go to Superstar, save himself, extend that a little bit. Which finally we get a chance to actually look at some of these things. So he's down number 7. Hey, there we go. Finally get to see him near the top of the list. Pure quarterbacking. He goes number 4. Not bad. I mean, he's definitely the main man here now. And a chance to go to 2, which doesn't really, surpass his real life, resume. But it's definitely more Super Bowls, obviously. But, I was about to say, will that be the case? The Bengals, speaking of that team, we actually joined them, and they lose. No, Dan, you had a chance, and you blew it. Of course, a couple of championship games in real life couldn't get quite back there. Of course, the Eagles versus the Bengals, and the division rival Bengals win. Of course, that's just unfortunate. Let's take a look at Dan Marino. I would imagine he's back up to Superstar, but will it matter is the question. He is, like we said, he's an 86 overall, though. I mean, he's still really good, but how long does an 86 overall last without being an X factor? I don't know. I mean, we're about to find out, I suppose. Booker, 86 overall, gets to Superstar. He's still semi-young. Can definitely develop a little bit, but probably do need another wide receiver, too, defensively. I mean, there's a couple of needs, but is Walker now just an X factor? That's so sad if he wasn't already. Oh, that's such an L. And missing the playoffs. You get close to the Super Bowl, and then you just do nothing. That's how it works with Dan Marino. Touchdowns were awful. Picks were awful. I mean, I don't want to drop him down in dev again, but, it may be time for him to just call it quits. Today's NFL is tougher, apparently. All right, so here's the draft. The last draft was so ass, I just didn't even bother showing it. This guy, very fast, definite potential wide receiver, decently fast. Hidden development traits, 6'5", actually really fast when you consider the fact that he's tall. Everyone else, though, I'm not sure. Fast and young, not terrible combination. Not super fast and not young. 5'8", fast, 23. I mean, maybe the wide receiver's okay. The D-end is developable, but Dan Marino doesn't need these kind of players. He needs superstars and X-factors in the draft and good free agent signings. To the playoffs! Not in them, unfortunately. Of course, I did drop Marino to star because he just didn't deserve to be superstar. However, he did have a very good bounce-back year here, so if he goes to superstar, he gets to keep it for the year. Of course, he is kind of closing in on retirement, but as you can see here, not even close to real-life goodness. Of course, not even close to the awards as well, but also not close to the amount of years played, I suppose, but looking at the numbers, his most yards in a season was 48.06, which actually was literally just now. Touchdowns, third most, so one of his best seasons, but you can also see here why I dropped him a star. It was literally his worst interception season. The, third worst touchdowns, technically, ish, right? Awards, I don't think he has anything. Pro Bowl, and that's it. Pretty much it. That's it. One Pro Bowl. He's back. He's only an 81 overall, but he's freaking back as a superstar. Regressed a little bit more. He's still pretty good, though. Booker is an X factor. He really developed well with Danny. And then Lynn Stanley, I don't know where the hell this guy came from, but 89 overall superstar. I mean, building some pretty good players around here, building a decent offense. Defensively, still needs some work, similar to that Titans team for some years, but you got some decent players like Harbor, who's a superstar, apparently. I mean, this is a team that can still maybe get Marino a ring. Never mind, it is not a good roster that could potentially get Marino a ring because he's not here right now. Please leave a message. after we potentially end this, because I don't know if he's going to be a starter, superstar still, but is he actually a starter for Seattle? We're about to find out. He is the new starting quarterback. Let's take a look at the roster. If it wants to load, it does. Devontae Booker. It's not Devontae Booker. It's Denzel Booker. I don't know why that name even came to my mind. Super fast with a really good juke move. Kind of sucks he doesn't have like jukebox or anything like that, but that's fine. What's not fine is this roster. The receivers are awful. Offensive line isn't that great defensively. Finally joins a team, though, with some good corners and some good players. Obviously, it's not going to last much longer, but a team with actual good defense. This is kind of like a one-year roster. Like, hey, if Dan Marino carries the F out of us, that defense can hold up just long enough. Maybe we can make something special happen. We'll see if that's the case, but another new team, Seattle. And it doesn't matter because Seattle does not even come close to the postseason. Let's take a look at the numbers. Dan Marino, not bad. Not bad enough, especially at his age, to drop in dev, so we'll let him stick it out. But the question is, will he actually even want to? I mean, he's like an 80 overall or something like that. 52,000 yards. I mean, you compare it to this random Trevor Proctor guy, doesn't even look better, right? Like, they're like basically the same guy pretty much. Dan Marino definitely did not live up to the hype, did not live up to what we thought. I thought he was going to definitely make a Super Bowl or two, maybe win a few. Obviously made a Super Bowl, you know what I mean? Multiple Super Bowls, win one at least. It's not looking good for those chances, gotta admit. He may even retire right here. I'd say maybe 1 more year, 2 more years left of him. But we'll see. Saints versus the Bills, and the winner of this one is the Buffalo Bills. So let's go on to the next week, which is where you would see if he did retire or maybe they're going to let him go. I don't think yet. I think it's a little early, but yeah, definitely not a successful one. I'm a little surprised. You know, the quarterback ones usually go pretty well, but I probably could have just looked at the roster to see if he was still there. But, you know, maybe he's gone. I don't know. He is not. The defensive coordinator goes. Stingley goes. He was like in the 90s, which is a little surprising to see him go. But let's go to the draft, see if Danny's still here and what kind of team's even going to be remaining. You know, you lost Stingley. A lot of these other guys were in their 30s. They may be regressing hard, and the receiving group was already pretty bad. So I don't know, dude. I think it's kind of like the end of the trail here. I don't know how much it's going to matter, but obviously the draft pick 8 overall. They went with a quarterback in the second round. I'm going to be honest. He looks pretty bad, too. Edge rusher actually looks decent. Jake Thomas, 66 overall quarterback. Yikes. Fast wide receiver Joe Walters, usable, but 23 years old. Man, these have been, I can confidently say, probably the worst drafts we've seen from the AIs in these career resimulators or career simulations. I mean, this has been very, very bad. I mean, look at the Broncos here, an 86 overall team. Of course, they do have an X-Factor quarterback that's a 95 overall. That isn't Russell Wilson, speaking of, ironically enough. But still, dude, like, this team is just not good at all. The Titans team was, you know, finally getting going, and even they lost a lot of overalls as soon as Dan went. So I don't know, man. It's going to take a miracle. I think this is just going to be an L for him. The roster's in shambles. Dan Marino's barely holding on. Of course, a couple of dev-ups for the receivers, but, you know, nothing crazy. Who's this guy? Oh, it's Devin Lloyd. I thought it was maybe like a new Lloyd. It's not. These are, this is a regression squad. This is the retirement home, if you will. Wow, this team is not good. I mean, better than I thought, but obviously no playoffs yet again. Let's see how our man Danny looked. Not bad. I mean, some of his best seasons of his career, ironically enough. Let's take a look at the updated numbers. Nearing 60K if he plays one more year for sure. I mean, you know, touchdowns to pick ratio is going to look a little bit better than real life. Not by much, but a little bit. But obviously the individual accolades and also seemingly no Super Bowl win as well is going to make it where he's significantly worse than real life, obviously. Eagles back in another Super Bowl, do not win it this time. Of course, Dan, I would say, is still going to be around, but the question is, will he be a high enough overall to actually get a starting job in the league? I don't know. And of course, if you don't have a starting job because of your age/overall, I mean, that's kind of where it cuts off, right? We'll find out if he's actually still around via retirement. And he is still here, apparently, due to retirement. I mean, he's not gone in that sense. May even be an X factor, which would be crazy, but very well could be. And He's not. He's still an 80 overall. Can he actually regress anymore? Like, he kind of seems like he's not regressing at all, is he? A little bit, but I mean, okay. If he wants to stick it out, I guess. Ooh, this is a name. And, of course, he's normal in 23. I was about to say, seeing some overall, seeing some speed. Could be hidden. He is hidden. Okay, some picks. Probably didn't need a running back, but glad they grabbed a normal development trait one. Ooh, no. I mean, it's just so much potential wasted by age and non-hidden development trait. 8 and 9, I mean, at this point, I don't really expect much. I just kind of almost waiting out Dan Marino here, who did not have a great year. Oh, wait. That's not Dan Marino. What the hell? I was like, I mean, it's not terrible. It's like, yeah, but that's kind of irrelevant. Oh, so Dan Marino does deserve to drop in dev, but he's also not on the Seahawks anymore. He's on the Falcons. This man hopping teams left and right. Falcons team also went 8-9, also not in the playoffs, and this could be Danny's last year, but let's take a look at his numbers one last time because he should have gotten to 60K. Still, I mean, just not. I mean, once again, touchdown to pick ratio, but that's kind of just guaranteed in today's NFL, especially in Madden. And yeah, I mean, just, you know, not really that special when you really look at how many AIs do this now. There he is, Daniel Marino, 15 seasons in the league. You can also see Pitts retired, but yeah, I mean, didn't work out. We've seen a lot where it actually has been a better career on a resim, specifically statistically, but also awards and Super Bowls. This was not one of them. Not a single All-Pro worthy season. I think he only had like 1 at most up to 3 Pro Bowl seasons. No MVP, no Rookie of the Year because he didn't even start his rookie year. And of course, he did get to the Super Bowl just like real life, but he lost in it just like in real life. So only 1 Super Bowl trip. No awards, really, and a worse career statistically. So, no, I'm going to say I'm calling shenanigans, Dan Marino. I don't want to call him Daniel anymore because then he definitely will get mad. Yeah, because he's obviously going to watch this video. I'm that dude, obviously. But, no, today's NFL Dan Marino could not muster it up, apparently. Allegedly. EA says so, not me. Don't get mad. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, Pkr Plays, twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams, which I have absolutely lacked on. Like I said, I've just been enjoying uploading, and, you know, I don't want to just only play Madden. That's kind of what, you know, things turn out to when I stream, so, I mean, I will play again specifically, or stream again specifically after we get that relocation franchise out. I really haven't been in such a rush, to be honest. I really haven't been. Hopefully you guys understand. I mean, I've just been enjoying what we've been uploading, honestly. It's just, I'm enjoying it. Dolphins franchise has been a blast. And, yeah, I mean, regardless, if you guys have any suggestions for this series, you want to see something in the future, let me know. You got a player in mind. You know, experiments in general. You know, we did, a couple of different traits and ability experiments. If there's something else like, you know, a position experiment, like, I don't know, fullbacks, run blocking with versus speed, something like that, let me know in the comment section below. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.